What's going on YouTube? Dio, aka Bonds, Urban Tech Reviews, and today on the channel I'll be doing my review of the Apple iPad 5th generation, which really is just called the Apple iPad, but you know I like to throw in the 5th generation so everybody know what I'm talking about. Alright, now like I told you in the unboxing, if you didn't see the unboxing, I'll put a link up there. You can click the link on the screen. But like I told you in the unboxing is that I got this from Verizon Wireless, and you get it for $200, which is a $400 like instant rebate that they said if you buy an iPhone with it. All right, so I got it for I think $220 or something like that. I can't even remember, but you get it from Verizon Wireless, or you can buy it separately, and you can get it on the Apple website, and I think they sell it on the Apple website for like $329, $339, something like that. All right, now it comes in 3 different colors. You can get it in silver, you can get it in gold, and you can get it in space gray. Now I got it in space gray, and you can tell the difference between space gray between any other models because space gray has the black bezel. Now the other models has they have the white bezel. So the gold and silver have white bezels. The space gray has a black bezel. All right. Now the models, you can get a Wi-Fi or you can get the Wi-Fi LTE, and I have the Wi-Fi and the LTE, and you can tell just the LTE band or whatever you want to call it. So that lets you know the difference between the Wi-Fi and the LTE model. Well, cellular model, they call it Wi-Fi plus cellular. All right. Now the capacity that they come in a 32 gigabyte, and they come in 128 gigabyte. This is the 32 gigabyte. The 128 gigabyte, I really wasn't feeling as far as the price, so I stuck with the 32 gigabyte model. Now the height is 9.4 inches, width is 6.6 inches, the depth is 0.29 inches, and the weight is 1.05 pounds. All right. Now, all your buttons, let's go over the buttons. This is your home button. This is your volume up and down button. No buttons on this side. On the top, you have your power button. Can y'all see that? Your power button right here. All right, you got your 3.5 millimeter headphone jack right there. You got your dual stereo speakers at the bottom. You got your lightning cable. Your lightning port at the bottom, and you have dual microphones. Now there's a microphone here. I don't know if y'all can see that. There's a microphone here, and then there's also one here. All right, so dual microphones. All right, and one thing that I thought they should have kept, but I thought they should have kept the mute button, but they didn't. But moving on. And also, my bad, I forgot. I always forget that. The nano SIM tray right here. So you got your SIM tray right here. Alright. Now, in the box, you get the iPad, you get the power adapter, and you get the lightning to USB cable. The chip, it is running an A9 chip with 64-bit architecture, embedded M9 coprocessor. The camera is a rare 8 megapixel camera. You can use live photos, auto. It has autofocus, panorama. Let me open it up. Panorama. You have HDR for photos, exposure control, burst mode, tap to focus, timer mode, f2.4 aperture. You got 5-element lens. You got hybrid IR filter, backside illumination, auto image stabilization, face detection, photo geo tagging. All right. Now in the video recording of this, you have 1080p HD recording, so no 4K. And that's at 30 frames per second. You have slow motion recording at 120 frames per second. You got time lapse video stabilization, video image stabilization, face detection, 3 times video zoom, and video geo tagging. Now we have a front facing camera also, which is available if you hit this little camera button right here. You go to front face mode. See? You see it's right there? Hey, we're in the building. Alright, but you get a 1.2 megapixel front facing camera, live photos, f2.2 aperture retina flash, and the retina flash is, let's see, are we still on? No, we went off. All right, so the retina flash is, you see it right here, right? And then this is your flash button, so you click it, you can go auto on or off. I'll put it on. All right, so if I take a photo, you see the screen lit up. All right, now that's your retina flash. Right, now to do live photos, which is this button at the top, if it's orange, that means live photos is on. If it's white with the line through it, that means live photos is off. So if I click the photo that I just took and you hold it in, so you get a little video. You know what I mean? So let it go, click it, you get a little video. All right, so that's how you do live photos, which I always like live photos with the iPhones and stuff like that. And I thought it's a hot feature. All right, now you got 720p HD video recording. You got backside illumination, HDR for photos and videos, face detection, burst mode, exposure control, and timer mode. Now all that is available in here. You see you got square, you can go video, slow motion, time lapse. I don't know if y'all can see all that. So you can just scroll through the settings with a little thing. You can change the panoramic, square. You can do all of these different modes. Okay. Now, if you want to change your video output, like what you're recording in, you just go to settings. In the settings, you go down to camera, which I can never find when I want to find it. All right, you go to camera, you click camera, and then here you can click record video, and you can go 720p HD at 30 frames per second, or you can go 1080p HD at 30 frames per second. All right, now it tells you that a 1 minute video in 720p at 30 frames per second, which is the space saver setting, it would be 60 megabytes of memory. Now a 1 minute 1080p video at 30 frames per second would be 130 megabytes of storage. All right, so they let you know that off top that it's going to be, you know, what the storage will be for using it. All right, now you got video calling with the FaceTime video, and iPad to iPad or any iPad to any FaceTime enabled device, which is anything iOS. You can get FaceTime over a Wi-Fi connection. Now also you got FaceTime video, and that's iPad or cellular, that you can use it during Wi-Fi or cellular. You have audio calling, which you can that's with the you can do Wi-Fi. You can do it through Wi-Fi on the Wi-Fi model, and you can do it through LTE or cellular, whatever, or Wi-Fi with the cellular Wi-Fi model. It's available on all carriers, and you got a nano SIM card, which we talked about, and you got a Touch ID sensor, which is right here. It's your Touch ID sensor. You know what I mean? So when you go to put in your fingerprint or whatever, you just press it down a little bit, and then you get it. Apple Pay, of course. You got Siri, and you got operating system, which is iOS 11. So as soon as you take it out the box, you're going to have an update. So if you get iPad brand new, you're going to have a brand new update. This one should be up to date. But you see, iOS 11.2.1 is the brand new update. That's what you should be running. If you're not running that, you just go there and you can run the update. Now, if you don't know how to check for the update, you go to General, then you go to About. And then in About, it should tell you the version that you're running. You see where it says version right here? It says 11. Let me see. I clicked off. It says version, and it says 11.2.1. All right, carrier, model, and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So that's how you check it to see if you're running the newest. But usually when you need an update, you'll get a little red thing where it says general, or you'll get a red 1 or whatever, you know, for the settings, where it tell you to update your device. It tells you to update it. Now you got a whole bunch of built-in apps as soon as you get it. I mean, that's you know, the regular apps that it comes with. But I'm gonna show you how to do the Touch ID feature. So with Touch ID, all you do is Touch ID and passcode. So let me put my passcode in. I don't want nobody seeing it. Alright, so you put your passcode in, and with the passcode you can go into your security settings, and you can unlock the iPad with the fingerprint. You can use Apple Pay with the fingerprint, or you can use the iTunes and Apple Store with the fingerprint. Now you can put in, I think, up to 5 fingerprints, and I like to label them so I know which fingerprint that I'm using or which fingerprint it is. So if I want to delete a fingerprint, I can take that fingerprint out and I know exactly which one I took out. You can require the passcode immediately, which means as soon as you you know, the screen goes off, to come back on and use all the features, you have to unlock the device. Now when it's locked, you can let it allow access to certain things. So today's view, which is, if you pull down, you'll get today's view, which is everything, and then you get recent notifications, which if you pull down, your recent notifications and stuff you'll get too. Control center is, if you scroll up, you'll get all your controls and stuff like that. And you get Siri, which is, if you double tap, triple tap maybe. No, hold in, my bad. Hold in. How you doing, Siri?
Interesting question, Amari.
All right, so like that, you know what I mean? So that's how you get that. Where was I at? I was in touch code and all that. Let me. All right, so you can do the home control and return missed phone calls. All right, so also from this setting, you can click to erase the data. You know what I mean? You can do all that. Battery percentage, if you click that and there's a little green bubble, if you click it green, then that means up here the battery percentage will show. If you click it, turn it off, your battery percentage won't show. It also shows you what the battery is running. So which, if your battery's was eating up the most battery, which is Facebook right now, eating 34% of the battery, it lets you know. Last 7 days, you can click it, Facebook's been running 35% of the battery, it lets you know. So therefore, you can kill whatever app is running if you don't want it to burn through most of your battery. Let's go to the Generals tab. Like I said, a software update. You can check About with the iPad, which tells you how much memory, network, photos, videos that you have, applications that you have, the capacity that you have, what you have available, version that you're running, carrier model that you're running, serial numbers, Wi-Fi address, IMEI, and all that other good stuff. You know what I mean? If you want to know any of that. iPad storage, it lets you know how much storage you have on here and how much storage that you're actually using. It lets you enable to offload unused apps, which means if you have any apps on here that you don't use a lot, then they'll kind of put them it kind of puts them in a low storage, you know what I mean? So don't run up a lot of storage on your iPad, and you can optimize photos, and optimizing them changes the resolution, so then they don't take up a lot of storage on your iPad. Also, you can turn restrictions on if you have restrictions, far as meaning, if you have a child and you don't want your child to be able to buy purchases or purchase stuff on the iPad, then you would click restrictions, and then you would enable restrictions. So when you enable restrictions, then you can go to iStore and iTunes Store, and you click that, and then the iTunes Store disappears. So you won't even see the iTunes Store on here. The same with installing apps or deleting apps. If you didn't want them to make any purchases, in-app purchases or anything like that, you click those, turn them off. You will not be able to make any purchases. You won't even get that option. Like, you won't even see it on there, like it doesn't exist. If you didn't want somebody to use your camera, then you can turn that off. They wouldn't be able to use the camera. Siri, FaceTime. If you didn't want somebody to see photos, you just click that off and they wouldn't see anything. All right, you understand? What else we got? You got daytime, you get your keyboards, you can download different keyboards, text replacement, auto capitalization, all this different stuff, you know what I mean? I always, advise to go through your device and check it out. You can reset it to the factory settings, or you can shut it down from here. Let's go to display and brightness. You know what I mean? I like to usually keep the display up, but my wife uses this more than I do. It's really hers. So she does whatever she wants to do. Far as all right, love you. Far as what she wants to do on here, so she keeps the brightness at what she keeps it at. You got night shift mode, which is if you set a certain time, then at that time it goes dark and it won't really disturb you during those times. You set a time frame, so say it was 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. so you wouldn't get no notifications from 10 p.m. to 6 p.m. unless I think somebody kept repeatedly doing it. Then if you set a certain person, like say my wife set me as her certain person, I think, and I kept repeating messaging her, then it would come through because it's like an emergency, like it would come through, something like that. I think, I'm not 100%. You can change the text size, so you can go really big, you can go really small. I don't like it really too big, but I'll keep it big right now just for the sake of the video, so you can see everything a little better. Wallpaper, you can change wallpapers. You know, you can choose new wallpapers. You can use photos, you can use dynamic wallpapers, you can use stills, you know, stuff that they have in here. We'll just change it, you can change it, you can cancel it. I don't know if y'all can see that. You can cancel it, you can set screen, set it to just the lock screen, you can set it to the home screen, you can set it to both, or you can change the perspective view. So if I just set it to both, now it's going to set both wallpapers. Now I go home and that's what you see on the screen. Now you go double tap and go back into settings, and now you're right back into your settings. So you go to sounds, you can change the ringer, volume up, volume down. You can change different ringtones. You can change keyboard clicks. I hate the sound of keyboard clicks, so I don't use it. And you can do lock sound clicks. Now lock sound clicks is listen. It didn't do it. Yeah, but usually it's supposed to like lock. You'll hear the lock sound when you lock the iPad. I think the volume's up. Oh no, that's why. All right, volume was down, so let's try it again. Now you turn the iPad off when you just cut the screen off. You'll get the lock. There we go. All right, all right. I didn't mean to hold you in, Siri. Let's go. All right, so that's how you do that. Now you can change Siri. I think she changed it to a man, so Siri has a man voice, but you can change it to a couple different sounding voices and stuff like that. Language, United States. You can use British male. You can use American male.
I'm Siri, your virtual assistant.
You can use Australian male. Come on. I was downloading. I ain't trying to.
I'm Siri, your virtual assistant.
And you can go.
I'm Siri, your virtual assistant.
Yeah, so you got.
I'm Siri, your virtual assistant.
You got American, Australian, and British. There's 3 different accents. You can go male and female. All right, simple as that. Different things you could do with Siri. Touch ID and passcode. I showed you that. Cancel. Battery. I showed you that. Privacy is just like you know, different things that you could change in the privacy settings, contacts, reminders, photos, blueprints, Bluetooth, my bad. You got App Store, purchases, and all that stuff. You got the wallet, purchases, and all that stuff. Accounts and passwords, you know, so you got certain accounts in here, you can set them in here and your passwords. So in case you forget them, you just go in there, check them. You got mail, where you can check your mail. Contacts, if you got contacts in your iPad. Calendar. This is basically, it's the same setup as an iPhone, you know what I mean, same setup. So notes, if you know, like to do notes, reminders, you got iMessages, FaceTime, Maps, Safari. I never use Safari, I use Chrome. You got home, and then you got, you know, music, TV, all this other stuff down here. None of this stuff is really stuff that I feel is important right now for the sake of video. Like I said, if you want to close apps out, just double tap, and then like the settings, I was just in settings, you just scroll it up like that and it's gone. You scroll that one up and it's gone. You can go Messenger, up and it's gone. Safari, up and it's gone. Gmail, just like that. I think there's a way you could do 2 at a time or something like that. Yeah, there you go. You can do 2 at a time and whatnot like that. So you can get into your quick settings or your control panel, I think it's called. You scroll up like this, and then you see your apps still pop up, which apps you use, but then you got airplane mode, then you got your Wi-Fi, your cellular signal, you got Wi-Fi, you got Bluetooth, Then you got the music if you was listening to music. Then you got how you could change the brightness of your screen so you can go up and down by just doing that. So you don't actually have to go into the settings, the gear settings to do it. Same with the volume. You can take the volume all the way off. You put the volume up. You can do screen mirroring. You can change the screen rotation lock. So if you just wanted to be in regular mode, not portrait mode, then you can keep it like that. You can mute all sounds and just put it on silent mode like that. You can go night mode, do not disturb, just like that. You can put the timer on there, and you can go to the camera just like that. All right. Now also you can scroll down and you'll get all your notifications for the day. So if you don't check these, which a lot of times I don't check mine, my wife don't check hers or whatever, like I got an iPad mini and I don't check mine. So but you get all your notifications like that. So see, if you don't check them yesterday, then you got the same ones from yesterday. You click it, the little X, and clear it, and just like that, and all your notifications are gone. Okay. Something else that I want to show you. Let me see. Like I said, a lot of these apps, like I said, I'm not on this iPad that much. I would have optimized it a little different. I would have had, you know, everything a little different. But I just want to show you, like, I think Apple could do a lot as far as innovation. And a problem that I have that I usually hit them with is they're not doing anything groundbreaking. And I mean, this is the first original iPad, the first iPad ever. This is it, right? They're not that much different. Like the big difference is the bezel out here, like the frame is a lot thicker. So if you turn it sideways, I'll put them like this. Let me turn the screen off. You put them sideways, then you can see this is a lot thicker. All right, much thicker. All right. So you see, just in frame size, like that's a lot thicker. Speakers are different. Of course, the charging is different. They got lightning port charging now, and like it's not that much different. You know what I mean? Like the internal is a lot different. I give them internal, but that's just because, you know, it's progression. You know what I mean? So obviously, as times change and technology becomes better, your software should get better. You know what I mean? So software definitely was a lot better here than it was, you know, when the first original iPad came out. And the same with like this is the iPad. Let me clean the screen off a little bit. But this is the iPad mini. You know what I mean, that I've had for a few years, and I got like 3 of these actually right now in the house. And this is the iPad mini 2, I think. I got the iPad mini 3. Hold on. Let me get the iPad mini 3. Now this is my son's. This is my son's iPad mini 3. This is the iPad mini 2. You know what I mean? So like the 3 from the 2, the 2 from the 3, there's not that much difference. You know what I mean? Like you look at the size, they're identical in size, identical in weight. The bezels are the same. The buttons are exactly the same. Like they're the same thing, right? They're exactly the same, except software. You know what I mean? Cameras are the same. Buttons are the same. Everything's the same besides the software. This is the iPad 2 and the iPad 3, right? So if I put the iPad mini 3 against the new iPad, like they're still basically the same. Like the builds, everything. Like they're the same. Nothing on the left side if it's facing you. Nothing on the left side. Right side. Only thing they got rid of on the right side, they got rid of the mute button, which I thought was stupid, but they got rid of the mute button. All right. Other buttons is there. At the bottom, 2 speaker grills, lightning port. 2 speaker grills, lightning port. You know what I mean? HD, your Facebook, FaceTime camera, not Facebook. You got your camera. They're the same. You know what I mean? I'm just saying all I'm saying is that where's the innovation? Where's the groundbreaking innovation in this Apple product? You know what I mean? It's a good thing. It's a good product. I love the iPads. I love the iPad line. I'm just saying is that it could be better. You know what I mean? I'm saying that you could change it a little bit around. You know what I mean? So that's just one thing that I wanted to mention is that that's an issue with me is that Apple they're not being innovative right now. You know what I mean? They're not being innovating. And as much money as this company is making, as much products as they're selling, as far as iPhones, iPads, what else are they selling? MacBooks and all this other stuff, man. They should be innovating. They should be creating new things, groundbreaking things all the time. That's my opinion. They should be making groundbreaking things all the time. All right, but let me get into my likes and dislikes real quick before I end this video. The size and the build, I like it. You know what I mean? The build is nice. I like the black bezel. That's why I always get the Space Gray if I had a choice, because I like the black bezel. The price is not bad for what I got it for. Definitely not bad, but on the website, like I said, I think they start off at $329. $329 is not bad for an iPad. You know what I mean? The speed is super fast. You know what I mean? The A9 chip, you're good. You know what I mean? It's not gonna have a problem doing a lot of things, you know, at one time. You know, speed is definitely good. Battery life on iOS is just amazing because the way they optimize the battery, you're not gonna have problems with anything far as battery life. You can normally my iPad mini, I might not charge it for like a week, and then I still might have 3-4% if I don't charge it for a week. And that's me not really using it, me just letting it sit around, you know what I mean? Because I got, desktops and other iPads, and my phone I'm on most of the time. So I might not even get to use my iPad for a whole week. And, it's still running. It's still on. Like, it's not off, So that's definitely a like that I love about iOS. Touch ID, I love Touch ID on here. It just elevated the product more. It made it a lot better, 10 times better to me to have Touch ID, so you don't always have to put in the fingerprint. I always have to put in a passcode. I wish they would have had facial recognition, kind of like they have on the X. I don't know why they haven't put facial recognition on the iPad yet. That I don't think they have, but I think it's definitely something that they should start working on. I love the Wi-Fi LTE or Wi-Fi. What they call it? Not LTE, but cellular. I love the cellular. I love to be able to choose to call somebody. Now, in order and also to do that, I think you got to download a actual like phone dialer, because I don't think there's an actual phone dialer on here. I might be completely wrong, but I don't see one. And usually there should be one on here if you actually could dial. But this iPad, if you get the cellular model, it has its own phone number. You know what I mean? So you can literally call this iPad. But like I said, you got to download a dialer. I'm pretty sure, because I don't see one on here. And I don't think you could just use it through FaceTime. I think you actually, or maybe you do. No. So maybe you can. I don't know, through FaceTime. But definitely that's a hit right there with the cellular model. Also, another big reason that this is a hot product is the Wi-Fi hotspots. Now, if you don't know what a hotspot is basically I can turn this phone, this iPad into a hotspot. And a hotspot is like when we're out, my kids play football, basketball. So we go on traveling games, so we might have to go an hour to a game. So when we go an hour to the game, my other kids bring their iPads, which are just the Wi-Fi models. So what you do is you turn this into a personal hotspot, and then their iPads can hit off this iPad for Wi-Fi. You know what I mean? So there they can get on games, they can FaceTime, they can do whatever like they would if they were sitting in Wi-Fi. And the way to do that is you go into Wi-Fi, you go into settings, and then you go personal hotspot. So then this is your Wi-Fi password, and it even shows you how to do it. It shows you what to do. Now you can turn that off or turn it on. You know what I mean? Turning it off obviously saves battery, but my kids love it. So when we're out, they be like, you turn on the Wi-Fi on the iPad, and boom, you turn on the Wi-Fi on the iPad, and you've got a personal hotspot to where they can use it. Like I said, that's a plus. That's a dope feature to have on here. One of the reasons that it was purchased. All right. And the build is thin and lightweight. You know what I mean? So like I said, this is about the thinness of an iPad, like a mini. You know what I mean? So this is about the basic thin, the basic size of iPads now. You're gonna get that thin, slim design, so it's not hard to carry. It's, you know, lightweight, you know, easy to store, easy to just throw somewhere, and you'll be good with it. I definitely like that. And of course, it's an Apple product, so tons of accessories. You know what I mean? I'm currently working on getting a car mount, so I can take, when I said we take it on trips, we put it in the car, put it on like the dashboard or something like that, stick it to the window, and we'll have a car mount for it. So I think that is a hot feature to have, and I'll definitely bring that unboxing out as soon as I get that done, as soon as I grab one. Dislikes, like I already told you, the build has not changed much. All right, so the build from here and here has not changed much. Thinness is definitely probably the biggest thing. Software is the biggest thing that they change consistently. As far as the build on the iPad has not changed too much. The front-facing camera at 1.2 megapixels. I don't know why it's only 1.2 megapixels. Even the rear camera, I don't see why you couldn't really put a 12 megapixel camera in the rear. But I think they don't do that because their phones are only 12 megapixels. So I think you could put 12 in the rear and 8 in the front, or 5 in the front at least. You know what I mean? And it would be a lot better. Even though the 1.2 don't look bad at all. But, you know what I mean, for this line of product that you're getting and the name behind it, you would think 1.2 is obsolete at this time. For me, that's what I think. Color options. I do not like the lack of color options. Why not a rose gold? You know what I mean? Why not rose gold? And also, why not make the silver and the gold with the black bezel? You know what I mean? Imagine how hot that would be to have the silver and the gold with the black bezel, or even putting the black bezel with the silver and the gold bezels. You know what I mean? Why not just change it? Why not give 6 options instead of 3 options? You know what I mean? It just, that's the small things that Apple could do that I think would make people want to buy more. If you had a rose gold iPad, or all rose gold, like the screen rose gold and everything, or the bezel rose gold and the screen and the case is black, or the case was rose gold, that'd be hot. That's my opinion. I think it would be hot. Next thing is the no external memory. You know what I mean? So nothing new. Apple doesn't do external memory. So you buy the 32 gigabyte model, you stuck with the 32 gigabyte model. So you're going to be doing a lot of deleting, a lot of sending to the cloud. If you got cloud, I don't use cloud, but if you have it, then you're going to have to do a lot of that, because 32 gigabytes is not going to get you far. No USB ports. It's not a major thing. You think of the thinness on here, you really wouldn't be able to get a USB port, but it would be something to just think about. You know what I mean? Because you think on this is the original iPad, how thick that is. That's almost the size of a USB port. You know what I mean? But like I said, the case on the original is a lot thicker. So you'd have to definitely thicken it up, which I don't know if people would actually mind. If you can get a USB port out of it and thicken it up a little bit, I wouldn't mind it. Not compatible with a mouse or external keyboard like the iPad Pros. That's definitely a disappointment. 2017, you know, a lot of people like the thinness of this, but being able to connect the keyboard, have a mouse to it, would make it a lot better. But I guess they just making that strictly for the Pro models, which will make you'd have to buy the Pro model in order to get those features. So that's what, you know, they're doing. So that's Apple. Also, no smart connector, and the smart connector is like the Pro has, which will enable you to connect the keyboard. So they got the 3 dots right here. You snap it in there to a keyboard, and then you have an external keyboard. Like I said, it's exclusive to the Pro models only. No 256 gigabyte model. You got 32 and you got 128. Why not the 256? You know what I mean? Especially when you do, this is a tablet, you know, a tablet. So you take this places. I never use it for my kids' game. I just use it really for the for directions. I never use it to take pictures, because I mean my phone shoots way better pictures than the iPad shoots. So I don't use it for pictures or to shoot pictures or take video or anything. And it doesn't shoot in 4K, which I think would be a dope feature, is if your iPad shot in 4K. It would turn a lot more people on to want to use the iPad because it shoots in 4K. And not compatible with the Apple Pencil. Now, another thing that, is exclusive to the Pro. If you had the Apple Pencil compatibility, that would, make it a lot better, because you add a feature that's usually something you got to pay $600, $700, $800 with, to something that you could pay $400 with and still get the same thing. Which it might take away from the bigger model, is maybe what they're thinking, and not putting it in, not being able to use that type of technology with the iPad 5th generation. And my last thing is that it's hard to find a lot of details about this, like to find the battery size and to find, a processor and like just stuff like that, man. Sometimes it's hard. Apple be hiding stuff, they don't like to, put a lot of stuff out there for the people. So a lot of things, like I said, you might just have to look for. But that's just, something not really that major, but I just wanted to put it in there. But it's DOAKABONDS Urban Tech Reviews. If you like this video, click that thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, you can do that easily by clicking on the little Android guy in the bottom right hand corner of your screen. If you're not following me on all my social media sites, I made that easy. All you got to do is click the description, go into the description, click every one of those links, and follow me on every one of my social media sites. And we out.